Hey guys, I'm the disc golf teacher, and today is a Nebraska game day, and so I'm here in Lincoln, Nebraska at Roper East Disc Golf Course, and we're going to play the back nine, and I'm going to show you kind of a few tips and tricks along the way. There's some fun holes on the back nine here at Roper East. Starting off here with hole one, you can see the basket kind of through this gap right there, and instead of hitting the gap, a little trick for you is these trees aren't very tall, so we're just going to go right over them. Try it. Got something flippy here, a little flippy wraith, right over the top. See if we get close. Let it stall out. Yeah, a little short, but I think it'll work. All right, looks like I left myself about 35 feet or so. So I stalled maybe a little too soon, but definitely makeable. Oh, just off the rim. All right, again, we're playing the back nine, so this is gonna be hole 11, and you can see there's a gap off the tee here. This time we don't have the opportunity to go over the top, and so when you throw a gap shot, a little tip for you is you wanna throw with hyzer, right? The hyzer is the most natural shot in disc golf, and so your timing is gonna be better than any other type of shot you're gonna try to manipulate through that gap. So I'm gonna try to throw with hyzer hard through this gap, and just try to get as far as I can up the fairway. Let's see what happens. All right, my gap hit off the tee wasn't perfect, but I still made it plenty of the way up here onto the fairway. And so my next tip is this is up on a little pyramid. So I'm gonna take kind of a softer disc, right? This is pretty flexible. In case I hit it, I don't want it to bounce and roll away really far. So if I hit it, it should stay pretty close. Yeah, so it hit and just sat. That's perfect, should be an easy par. All right, hole 12 is about 250 feet, and on this hole, the tip I want to give you is that there is a Mando on the right side you have to stay to the left of. So instead of trying to manipulate a backhand in there to get close to the basket, just throw a forehand. That way you'll stay out to the left, you'll be safe the entire time, and you should be able to take it up close, even if you do mess up the Mando. So try to stay with the forehand nice and left, coming to the right at the very end. All right, so my disc ended right here. Now this is a little bit downhill. There is a creek behind it, but my tip to you on this one is just putt normal, okay? You're more likely to hit something and sit as opposed to blow past the basket and miss it. All right, so putt with your normal stance and everything, and if you have confidence, it should go right in. Just like that. All right, hole 13 is a toughie. This one, you can kind of see the basket that we just putted to on hole 12, but hole 13, you got to go over that creek, and then this is kind of a tough par 4. So for this one, it is not worth it to go across the creek in one shot. So I'm just going to try to lay up to those two big trees there right in front of the creek, and then maybe pitch over after that and hopefully get close to get a birdie. Let's try it. This is something stable mid-range. Try to land right by those two trees. Maybe a touch past them. Yep, that's exactly what I want to do. Perfect. All right, I did end up sliding down the hill just a little bit here, but this is still safe before the creek. So I'm probably gonna have to go with a flex forehand to get kind of around these trees and hopefully get close to the basket. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's a putt. All right, not too bad. Ended about 24 feet away or so. And so I got a little bit of an uphill putt. So just a tip on this one, remember you gotta aim just a little bit higher than you would on your normal flat putts because gravity likes to pull that disc down. There we go, another birdie. All right guys, hole 14 is tricky. This is an island hole and it has some headwind today. And so for this hole, I do not wanna get a 2. It is doable. It's only about 275 feet or so down there. But instead, I'm gonna play to kind of the wide side, the left side of the island, and just lay up and get an easy par. All right, so I'm gonna go with something a little bit stable for the headwind. Let's try it. This is just a stable wraith. Trying to get that a little bit to the left. All right, it's off the fence, but that works. All right, should be easy layup from there. All right, so hit the fence, and so I'll just have to lay up and hopefully get an easy par. There we go, just a little tap in. And that's how you make a scary hole doable. Par is a great score on this hole. All right, hole 15 is another tough one. This is really just a long hole with some out of bounds here on the right. It's also right by the interstate. So anyway, when you have a hole like this and you need to get as far as possible off the tee, go back to your fundamentals. Remember the hyzer, like we talked about on that second hole. The hyzer is the easiest shot in disc golf to get your timing correct. So I'm gonna go with something just a little bit flippy, throw it on hyzer to try to get as far as possible. Let the disc do all the work for me. All right, maybe a little too much hyzer there. Again, it hit the fence and rolled back, but it should be doable. All right, looks like I got far enough down here to have a clear shot on the other side of this tree. So I am outside the circle, so I'm gonna try a little jump putt. See if we can get it close, if not to go in. Ooh, just in front of it. Hole 16 is kind of up on this spine. You can see we have out of bounds marsh area on the right side, and I think there is that creek again on the left over here. So my tip to you on this one is just to throw like it's not even there. Disregard the out of bounds, 300 feet. You should be able to get this one close. Let's try, just throw in the mid-range here. It should come back just in time. Oh yeah, see, that's just a stock shot. We know how to do that. All right, super close here. This is a bag on tap in. Oh yeah. All right, hole 17. This one's not too hard at all. There's a gap off the tee, but it's close enough where, just like that last hole, pretend it's not even there. You should go right through it. A little bit short and right, but that should be up and down for an easy par. All right, when you have a kind of a low ceiling putt like this, instead of trying to putt nose up and get underneath it, just lay up short. You'll be fine, okay? Go around to that far side. All right, because we know we can make that, as opposed to if I went high. That's a tester now, so be careful with how you lay up those putts. All right, one more tip because there's one more hole. This is a really tough one. We got to tunnel off the tee here, and it needs to bend a little bit to the right and then finish back to the left. So I'm going with something just a little bit flippy. Here, it's kind of an old Thunderbird. I'm going to let the disc do the work. So the tip here is let the disc do the work. You don't try to manipulate it yourself. Use a disc that can do the shot for you. There, it's bending to the right. And even if it doesn't finish back left all the way, I think that's going to be okay. Should be wide open to the basket. All right, last tip of the day, and that is that the hyzer again is the most natural shot, so I'm gonna throw around the trees this way as opposed to a forehand to get close to the basket with the out of bounds over here. So keep it nice and low. Again, that wind's gonna try to push it to the left. So low and wide, and let the disc and the wind do the work for me. Pick like a leaf or something that you're aiming at. All right, guys, hopefully you found some of these tips helpful. If you did, please leave a thumbs up down below for me. That helps me out. And until next time, we'll see you out here on the course.